All right, let's move on now to the fourth. So we're on a 5 note away perfect fourth, not to be confused with the fifth here, even though it's 5 notes away. And the fifth is the funny one. That's where we have a 6 note away fifth rather than a 5 note away fifth. You call it a flat fifth, a diminished fifth. But we're going to be on the fourth now. So the fourth is the normal one, which is the perfect that you would expect from all of the modes. Still have a perfect fourth, except I believe the Lydian mode. So we've seen it before, but we want to keep practicing it because that's one of the safe ones. That's like as safe as the perfect fifth. It's as safe as like a power chord. It's just less popular because it's not part of a normal chord construction, because it's an even interval. It's an even note in the chord, and we usually build our chords by skipping every other note. Therefore, if we were to skip every other note, we go 1, the 3, the 5, then the 7. That's the last note in a scale typically. And then the 9 represents the 2 that we skipped. But we don't like saying 2 because we don't like even numbers when we build chords. We're like even number phobes. We're like, dude, no, it's a 9, okay? It's a 2. No, it's a 9. I don't associate with 2s. I only deal with odd people. Odd people are interesting. That's so, dude, it's a 2. 2s are boring. Then the 11 is the 4. So that's what we're on now. We're on the 4. It's an 11. 11, a 4 is a boring even person. I like odd people because they're weird. But it's actually a 4. No, it's an 11. That's why I associate with that person, because he's odd. Okay. In any case, let's say we're going to go up 5 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Going up 5 notes here. So if I'm on this B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom. All right. So that's a 5 note away perfect fourth. Okay. Let's say we go up a string. If I go up above the B, then I have to look for the inverse distance. So a 5 note away perfect fourth or a 5 note away perfect 11th has an inverse distance of 12 minus 5, which is 7. So this is going to be -5. Let's find it first. It's right, -5, 6, 7. I usually do it this way. -5, 6, 7. Okay, let's count it out here. And so we're on -5, 6, 7. So that's like our normal power chord, right? -5, 6, 7. So if I went from E to B, then it would be a 5 note away perfect fourth from the perspective of the E. But if I go from B to E, bottom to top, that is going to be a. If I went from E to B, it would be a 7 note away perfect fifth. But if I went from bottom to top, from B to E, it's a 5 note away perfect fourth. Okay. So that means that if I go up one string, the 5 note away perfect fourth will always be 2 frets back, unless I cross the fault line, which would only happen on the B string. So if I was on the B string over here, it's going to be a longer distance because this tectonic plate shifted the root note forward. So the rule is if I go up one string, then the 5 note away perfect fourth, otherwise can be called the 5 note away perfect 11th, is 2 frets back. Unless I cross the fault line, which only happens on the B string, in which case, if I go up one string and cross the fault line, the 5 note away perfect fourth, which could also be called the 5 note away perfect 11th, is 3 frets back. All right then, let's go up. That's precise language right there. See if the deconstructionist legalese people can try to make a lie out of that formation of the argument. Sons are gonna start changing definitions on me. I know how they're gonna be working, but that's okay. I'll just make it more clear. I'll make it more clear. Let's go up 2 strings. and we're looking for the 5 note away perfect fourth going up 2 strings. So the inverse distance is 12 minus 5, which is 7. So it's going to be -5, -10, 9, 8, 7. So let's do it from here. So -5, -10, and then we're going to say -5, -10, and then 9, 8, 7. All right, so if I go from top to bottom, from this E to that B, that would be a 7 note away perfect fifth. But if I go from the B bottom to the E, that then is going to be a 5 note away perfect fourth. And so that means that the 5 note away, so if I go up 2 strings, the 5 note away perfect fourth will always be 3 frets forward unless I cross the fault line, which would happen on either of the bottom 2 strings. So if I'm on one of the bottom 2 strings, then I go up 2 strings. It's going to be a tighter distance because, again, this root note has been pushed forward. So the rule is if I go up 2 strings, the 5 note away perfect fourth, which could also be called the 5 note away perfect 11th, is 3 frets forward unless I cross the fault line, which would happen on the bottom 2 strings, the B and the E string, in which case, if I go up 2 strings and cross the fault line, the 5 note away perfect fourth, which could also be called the 5 note away perfect 11th, is only 2 frets forward. So let's do, what if I go up 3 strings? We haven't seen this distance before with the perfect fourth because we have revealed another string up top as we have moved down, measuring from the G string. So let's go up to this one. This is going to be new stuff here. This is exciting. I'm going to go up to this one and say we're looking for a 5 note away perfect fourth or 5 note away perfect 11th. Have to look for the inverse distance. 12 minus 5 is 7. So it's going to be -5, -10, -9, 9, -9. Wait a second. Que paso here. Que paso. It's not 9, it's 15. Counting 5s. 5, 10, 15. 15 minus 12 is 3. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. So let's count it out this way. So -5, -10, -15. 15 minus 12 is 3 because there's only 12 notes. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Open E. So if I was on this B, I would be on the open E out here. So top to bottom would be a 7 note away, which would be a perfect fifth. Bottom to top, therefore, would be a 5 note away perfect fourth. So that means if I go up 3 strings, then the 5 note away perfect fourth, which could also be called the 11 note away, which could also be called the 5 note away perfect 11th, is 1, 2, 3, 4 frets back, unless I cross the fault line, which would happen on the bottom 2 strings again. So if I cross the fault line, let's go down here, and we're going to say then, and if I go up 3 strings, boop, boop, boom, and then I'm going to go back to here. So now this has been shifted forward, making a longer distance because now we're leaning backwards and the root has been pushed forward. So the rule would be that if I go up 3 strings, the 5 note away perfect fourth or 5 note away perfect 11th is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 frets back unless I cross the fault line, which would happen on the bottom 2 strings, the B and the E string, in which case if I go up 2 strings and cross the fault line, the 5 note away perfect fourth, which could also be called the 5 note away perfect 11th, is only 3 frets back. All right, let's go down a string now. Let's go down a string and say we're going to go down to here. So if we go down 1 string, we're going to cross the fault line because we're on the G string, which is the only string where I could go down 1 string and cross the fault line. That's where the crack is at. We crossed over the crack on that step. That's the step that crosses the crack. Don't step on the crack, or else you're going to get the sound will be you get that muted sound. That's not what you want to do. You want to step clean across the crack. One leg on one side of the crack, the other is on the other side. Okay, so if we do that and we go down one string, then the 5 note away perfect fourth, now we don't have to look for the inverse distance because we're going below it. It's just right there because it's diagonal because of the fault line, because of the shift, because of the tectonic plate movement. So it's just going to look like that. So that means if I go down one string and cross the fault line, the 5 note away perfect fourth is going to be 1 fret forward. But that's the only place, the G string, where I cross the fault line. Even if I was down here, then I wouldn't cross the fault line because I would be on the same tectonic plate. It's a small plate. It's like a little island plate onto itself. But if I just stay on that plate, then I don't cross the fault line. And it's just like if I was on the mainland up here. Just like if I was on the mainland and I go up down one. It's only when you cross over the plate that it gets funky. So the rule is that if I go down one string, the 5 note away perfect fourth, which you could also call the 5 note away perfect 11th, is on the same fret unless you cross the fault line, which only happens on the G string, in which case if I go down one string and cross the fault line, the 5 note away perfect fourth, which could also be called the 5 note away perfect 11th, is 1 fret forward in that one circumstance. So now let's say that we go down 2 strings and then it's going to be back here. So now we go down 2 strings and cross the fault line. So fault line cross, 5 diagonal, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. So 5 note away perfect fourth, 5 note away perfect 11th. Let's count it out here. 5, 10, and then 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. So it goes from here to the open E. So that means if I go down 2 strings and cross the fault line, the 5 note away perfect fourth is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 frets back. But I don't have to. I wouldn't cross the fault line if I was on any of the top 2 strings, because then I could still go down 2 strings and not cross the fault line because I'd be on the same tectonic plate. So what if it like if I was up here, and then I went down 2 strings, it would be out here. So it's a longer distance. Because the fact that the one that I'm going to this time, here's the root, the one I'm going to got pushed up by the tectonic plate, but up here it didn't get pushed up, so it's a further distance. So the rule is if I go down 2 strings, the 5 note away perfect fourth, which could also be called the 5 note away perfect 11th, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 frets back, which is about as far as we can reach with a normal hand size. Unless I cross the fault line, which would happen on either the D or the G string, in which case, if I go down 2 strings and cross the fault line, the 5 note away perfect fourth, which could also be called the 5 note away perfect 11th, will be 1, 2, 3, 4 frets back. That's how it goes. All right, so we'll move on to the next one next time, which is the funny one. That's the one you want to come back and see that one, because that's the weird one. The flat 5